My name is First Gen Rider, and I'm going to be honest, I don't even have a motorcycle right now. And I know what you're thinking, what the heck? But actually, it's kind of a sad story. I've had three motorcycles total, and my recent one got stolen. Hi, my name is Victor, First Gen Rider. I'm a QA engineer, motorcycle enthusiast, Latino, and today I'm going to talk about my motorcycle journey, how I started riding, what got me into riding, and why I'm not riding right now. But, you know, I'm still a rider. I still love motorcycles. And I wanted to share my story, and hopefully other people can share theirs in the comments. So let's get started. I first started riding when I was in college. I watched this video during COVID lockdowns of this guy riding his motorcycle from New York to Los Angeles, and he did it on a Triumph Bonneville. And this is going to be really important to the story eventually, but when I saw this, it had been locked down. It had been COVID lockdown for, you know, 6 months at this point, maybe a year. And this was in 2021. And I wanted to figure out what to do with my life. I wanted to do something that made me happy. I always wanted to ride motorcycles since I was a kid. My mom had a friend that actually let me ride on the back of his motorcycle when I was, I don't know, really young, maybe too young, but I really loved it. But I never got into it any more than that. And when I was young, I didn't realize that motorcycles weren't just Harleys, sports bikes and dirt bikes. I didn't realize there was more than that. And I didn't realize there were more styles, really. Um, and so in college, I decided I wanted to take I'm in Oregon, so it was the Team Oregon motorcycle safety course. And I took that, and unfortunately, I failed it the first time. It was really nerve wracking. I had never ridden, like I said, and I hadn't even been riding a bike for years and years because, funny enough, every time I have a bicycle, it gets stolen. And so I did the test. I failed the first time, but it was really fun. Like, we did the whole weekend, and it was really fun. I really enjoyed riding. It was a little TU, what is it, TU 250X, the little Suzuki, and that was a lot of fun to ride. But I had to retake the test because, funny enough, the person that went right ahead of me in the quick stop challenge or like test, they ended up basically flipping over the handlebars by braking too hard. And so I went right after him and I was nervous. So I didn't stop um, like fast enough or quick enough because I was worried of doing the same thing. And that was like the thing that put my points over or like right under passing. So I had to retake it. And then when I retook, I just ended up retaking the whole class because I was like, I want a little more time on a bike before I buy one. And I ended up retaking the class, and they were like, wow, you like got the best score in the class. It was a little easier the second time, and I really enjoyed it. So if you're thinking about taking the course, I suggest you do so because it's really fun. Jumping ahead to after I took the course, I ended up waiting a couple months to getting my full license, and I was starting to, shop for bikes. I was looking for what kind of bike do I want? And at the time, I wasn't entirely sure what was the best option for me. People were always saying, like, you're not going to keep your first bike forever, anyways. And I was like, that's crazy. That's not going to be me. I'm going to pick one and love it and keep it forever. And I ended up going with a Honda Rebel 300. I liked that it had a cool style. I liked that it wasn't like super cruisery. And I also liked that it was a Honda. I liked that it was a short seat height. I'm not too tall. I'm about 5'8". And I liked that it was a short seat height to like start out and like get comfortable with it. So a Honda Rebel 300 was my very first bike, and I really loved it. It was fun. It was cool. Like I felt really cool on it. But it really wasn't really meeting my needs for what kind of riding I wanted to do. I was riding to college back and forth from home, and that was about an hour and a half drive. And after about 45 minutes, my ass just hurt by sitting on that bike. It was very uncomfortable, super uncomfortable. I couldn't really get, luggage on it. Like, I couldn't do the big traveling thing like I saw in that YouTube video going from New York to Los Angeles. I was like, I can't imagine doing this on this Honda Rebel 300. And so I ended up selling it, and I picked up a Triumph Bonneville, a Triumph Street Twin 900. And the Triumph Street Twin 900, oh man, I really love this bike. Like, I I had so much fun on this bike. It was so beautiful. It was the exact styling that I imagined when I imagined a motorcycle. When I imagined a motorcycle, it was that, and I felt so good. Like, I was so happy with it. I got it for myself right after I graduated college. I sold my old Honda Rebel 300 to a new guy, to a new beginner, and I felt really good, passing it on and still, getting my money back and putting it towards my Street Twin. I ended up putting that towards a loan. It's neither here nor there whether you should finance a motorcycle, but that's what I did, and it ended up working pretty well for me. It was pretty cheap. Insurance wasn't too bad. And I just loved how much more comfortable it was. I took it on some bigger trips, and I had a lot of fun with it. But again, my riding evolved. As great as my Triumph Street Twin was, it had a very small gas tank. I could only get, at best, 150 miles. And I couldn't really tour as well as I wanted to. And I definitely didn't have the opportunity to go off-road with it. So I kept watching ADV videos. I was watching dirt bike videos. I was watching different kinds of things, moto camping. Like, I really wanted to go moto camping. And I was like, yeah, I could do it on this, but I really want an ADV bike. I want an adventure bike. Unfortunately, I didn't have the funds to get both an ADV bike and keep my current bike. And I ended up selling my Triumph Street Twin right after doing the Rose City 500. And I did 500 miles in a day on the Bonneville. And I was like, oh my God, this is how I felt with the Honda Rebel. I need an adventure bike. I need a bike with a bigger gas tank. I need a bike that can go further and like really meet my needs in that way of traveling, of being free, of being on the road. And so after a lot of consideration, I decided to trade it in for a Himalayan 450, the new Himalayans. And I thought that was such a cool bike. The yellow trim, the gold wheels, like all of it was so cool. I felt so good, like going off road, which I didn't do much of. It was very much a city and commuter bike. And the reason for that is I had it for not even 3 months and it got stolen. And I was just devastated. I had traded in my beloved Street Twin for this new bike that I barely even got to ride, and it got stolen, and insurance didn't pay me out very well, so I haven't replaced it. And right now I'm at the point where I don't have a motorcycle, and that feels really strange. It's been now almost 8 months, and I'm really itching to get back out there. I really want to go ride. I miss it. It really helps me. And unfortunately, I'm not in the position to be able to get a new motorcycle anytime soon. But that doesn't mean I'm not a rider. And that's one thing that I hope everyone, learns from this video, is that even if you don't have a motorcycle right now, even if you don't have a way to ride, that doesn't mean you're not a rider. If you take a big break, if you, take an off season, take a year, take family time, whatever it is, you're still a rider regardless. And that's the message that I want to leave everyone here with. I'm going to do some more videos about my experiences with motorcycling, and I'm also going to be training my body to be able to handle going off-road, because eventually I want to do the Oregon BDR and other BDRs. And I know that I need to, get my body in a better shape to be able to do those things. You can also read more about my experience through my motorcycle journey on my Substack. I have a Substack post with my motorcycle journey, and you will read about a couple things that I didn't mention in this video. Please follow along if you're interested in motorcycles and QA and any first-gen experiences. And I really appreciate you watching. Have a great day.